Hello, this is Mr. Lowry. Good morning. I'm going to go over my flip chart and read the story again for anybody who possibly missed the class or any kids who would like to go back and hear me read the story again. The title of this story is Grandma and the Great Gourd, which is another word for like a squash or really big pumpkin. This story is a traditional tale. Some of your popular traditional tales are in the United States would be like Cinderella, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, or Jack and the Beanstalk. We know these are traditional tales. They're usually very old stories that people have been telling for lots and lots and lots and lots of years. We're talking about way back before computers and electricity and even books. The purpose is just to entertain, explain, or sometimes it was to teach a lesson. Most times. We also know that these are not real stories. Oftentimes they have characters who are animals. Or, like in Cinderella, we have a fairy godmother. That's not real. Jack and the Beanstalk, he has a magic beans that grow a huge beanstalk up into the clouds, where he climbs up there and he sees a huge giant in his house. So, also some important parts. We're talking about story elements. One thing very important in a story is the setting, of course. The setting of a story is when and where the story takes place. Here's a video here if you'd like to watch it. I've embedded it in Google Classroom. 2 videos that are about story elements if you'd like to watch them. But I'll show you later how to access them. Characters, just remember characters are the people or animals in the story that talk and act. If you're watching a movie or a show, the actors are the characters in the show. Conflict is the problem the main character or characters experience, like the giant chasing Jack in Jack and the Beanstalk was the conflict or the problem. What is the conflict in the 3 Little Pigs? The conflict is the wolf who wants to eat them. The resolution, though, was when they built the brick house and they were saved. The problem in Cinderella is she needs to go to the ball so she can find someone to marry and get out of her house and away from her evil stepsisters. The resolution was when the fairy godmother, makes her a beautiful dress and takes her to the ball and she meets the prince. The plot, we're talking about the major events of a story, which usually is the problem and solution. Vocabulary, fierce means wild or dangerous, like tigers. Baring just means showing, like this tiger is baring his teeth. So is this one. They bare their teeth to scare other animals or people, to show them how ferocious or fierce they are. Flexing means curling. Usually we talk about flexing like flexing your muscles, but in this part it could just mean like bending or curling. Crouching means bending down. The tiger or cats, if you see them play, they crouch down usually and then jump at something, at their prey or something. So a crouching tiger is usually ready to pounce or jump on something. This tiger's crouching to drink water. Swipe just means to hit, like this tiger here, swiping at something with his paws, swatting, swiping, trying to hit something. Gourd, again, is this vegetable. It looks like a squash or pumpkin. In some parts of the world, they grow these really big, and then they can use them to make containers and cups out of. I have a picture of that further along in my flip chart that I can show you, the one I did in Spanish. But that's going to be an important part of this story, is knowing that back here, this is long ago, people didn't have Walmart. They had to make all their stuff. And an easy way to make a cup would be to hollow out a gourd, much like we hollow out a pumpkin to make a jack-o'-lantern. Once they dry in the sun, they were hard, so you could make things like containers or bird houses and different things out of them. Again, the story is going to be in India, which is in Asia next to China. So it's going to be on the other side of the world. It says, once upon a time in a little village in India, there lived an old woman whom everyone called Grandma. She loved gardening and had the best vegetable patch in the village. Grandma lived by herself in a little hut at the edge of the village, next to a deep, dark jungle. At times she could hear herds of elephants lumbering on forest paths, thump, 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 or giant lizards slithering over dry leaves. Ksh, ksh. Who is the main character? This person. What do they call her? Describe the setting again. The setting is given to us in the very beginning of the story. And also onomatopoeia, anytime you're going to see on every page these words that only imitate the sounds that things make. Words that imitate sounds are called onomatopoeias. Like kaboom, splash, meow, ruff, or vroom. All those words that imitate sounds are called onomatopoeia. She didn't mind because she had 2 loyal dogs, Kalu and Bulu, to protect her. They also helped her with garden chores. One day Grandma received a letter from her daughter who lived on the other side of the jungle. "Please come and visit me," said the letter. "I haven't seen you in so long. I miss you." What are the names of Grandma's dogs? How do Grandma's dogs help her? Why did Grandma's daughter send her a letter? And these questions that I'm asking are not something you have to answer now. It's just things I want you to keep in mind because these are questions that will be on the quiz that you're going to take after this. Grandma missed her daughter too and decided to visit her. She was a little scared about traveling through the jungle where so many fierce animals lived. But then she said, "What's life without a little adventure?" She packed her things and said goodbye to her dogs. "Don't worry, boys," she told them. "I'll be back soon. Don't forget to take care of my garden." "Roar, roar," said the dogs. "We won't forget. We'll chase away all the wild animals, and we'll listen for you. If you get in trouble, just call for us." As Grandma was traveling through the jungle, cut, 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 she came upon a clever red fox. "Oh, Grandma," he said, baring his pointy teeth and smacking his lips. "How nice of you to arrive just when I'm so hungry." Explain what fierce means. The animals are dangerous in the jungle because they're fierce. Can you predict what will happen next in the story? The fox is baring his teeth and smacking his lips. He's hungry. Grandma's heart went dip, dip, but she didn't let the fox see how scared she was. "If you're planning to have me for breakfast," she said, "that's a terrible idea. See how skinny I am? I'll be a lot plumper on my way back from my daughter's house because she's such a good cook. You can eat me then, if you like." "That sounds good," said the fox, and he let her go. What does Grandma mean when she says that she will be plumper? Explain why the fox let Grandma go. Something that she does here. Why does she say the fox can eat her later? Grandma walked deeper into the jungle. Cut, cut, cut. In a while she came upon a shaggy black bear. "Oh, Grandma," he said, flexing his claws and sharpening them on a nearby rock. "How nice of you to arrive just when I'm so hungry." Grandma's heart went duk, duk, but she didn't let the bear see how scared she was. "If you're planning to have me for lunch," she said, "that's a terrible idea. See how thin I am? I'll be a lot fatter on my way back from my daughter's house because she's such a good cook. You can eat me then if you like." "That sounds good," said the bear, and he let her go. Why is the bear flexing his claws once he sees Grandma? Why doesn't the bear eat Grandma? Again, something she says here. Grandma walked into the deepest part of the jungle. Cut, cut, cut. Suddenly she came upon a sleek, striped tiger. "Oh, Grandma!" I like how they all know her name. He said, crouching low and swishing his tail. "How nice of you to arrive just when I'm so hungry." Grandma's heart went doom, doom, but she didn't let the tiger see how scared she was. "If you're planning to have me for dinner," she said, "that's a terrible idea. See how bony I am? I'll be a lot juicier on my way back from my daughter's house because she's such a good cook. You can eat me then if you like." "That sounds good," said the tiger, and he let her go. Explain the pattern in the story. What happens every time Grandma meets an animal in the jungle? Why is walking through the jungle so dangerous? That's an important part, because the setting has a very important influence on the plot. The setting is very important in this story. Grandma reached her daughter's house. She had a wonderful time there, playing with her grandchildren and telling the neighbors all about her adventures in the forest. She worked in her daughter's garden, watering, digging, and sprinkling the ground with her special fish-bone fertilizer until the vegetables grew so large that people from 3 villages came to admire them. She ate the delicious dishes her daughter cooked, and just as she told the forest animals, she grew quite plump. Again, this is important. This is this fertilizer, fish-bone fertilizer. As you can see, I found a Google image of fishbone meal. You can use it in your garden. It gives it a lot of nutrients so that your vegetables can grow really big, which is going to be very important to the resolution of this story. Something about her very big vegetables are going to help her solve her problem that she might encounter when she goes back through the jungle to go back to her back to her own house after visiting her daughter, because she will have to go back to the same jungle and she'll probably meet the same animals that now are going to be expecting to eat a big fat juicy grandma, as she had promised them. What predictions can you make about the end of the story? How do you think she's going to get back through the jungle past those animals and back to her place safely? Now inside my Google Classroom, to show you back again how I get there. Here we are, Mr. Lowry. You'll go to classwork, and there under reading, Grandma and the Great Gourd, plot and setting. You'll click on that. Like I said, this is the video on story elements that you can watch if you'd like. There's another one here. And I'm going to put this video that I'm making right now right here. Click on this Google form. It'll pop up. First thing you're going to do is type your name. My name's Mr. Lowry. You don't type your name though. You please type your name, whatever it be. Bobby, Roberts, what have you. Number 1, who is the main character in the story? Now I'm going to ask that you answer these in complete sentences, not just one word. We know the main character of the story was Grandma. But instead of just leaving a one-word answer, please say, Grandma is the main character. And that is what I would like for you to do throughout the rest of the answers. Please, no one-word answers. Please try to type complete sentences. When you get down to the bottom, some of these are, of course, multiple choice. At the bottom, there's a bonus. If you put what your prediction is about the end of the story, that way if you miss one of these, you could still get 100 if you get the bonus correct. I only have 15 minutes to record these videos, so I'm coming to an end right now. Please don't hesitate to send me any messages through Google Classroom, or Class Dojo if you have them. Bye for now. Hope to see you next time. Thank you. Bye.